From humble beginnings, Zwelinzima Vavi has become one of the most influential trade union leaders in South Africa. As Secretary General of COSATU, he has the ear of 2 million workers.
Considering what informed your childhood and all of these experiences that you detail now, and you think about the environment that you have often said you return to very regularly, what is the difference? Is there a tangible, significant difference in terms of the struggles that people are having to endure?
Well, I think that the struggle as a whole was not a struggle in vain. We did make tremendous progress. I'm now talking as a typical working class family. And as a person who firsthand negotiated and helped to shape the constitution of the country, as well as the labor laws that are protecting farm workers and the rest of the working people, there's been huge progress, and including socially. And in my place, at least there's a hall, community hall that didn't exist before, and the schools that have been revamped. There's a new hospital that didn't exist before. There's a single tarred road that didn't exist before.
But has that tangibly contributed to a difference, a perceived difference, in terms of how people are living their own lives? Because it's one thing to say that as a country, we've attained a certain measure of economic security and possibly prosperity. But at the same time, not everybody gets to enjoy that.
Absolutely. Look, in all situations, there's always the positives and the negatives. The positives is what I was trying to count. And there are lots of negatives still. And the battle is far from being won. That's for sure. We've gained the political freedom. We have our new constitution. We have laws that we pass in parliament through the democratically elected people's representatives. We see social progress and education, water, electricity, important things that have happened, and that we must not take those things for granted, because only 12 years ago, they didn't exist, they were not rights for majority of the citizens of the country. But yes, there is still huge challenges we face as the country. And obviously, as the General Secretary and of COSATU, we have been in the forefront of highlighting those elements to the society. We have been running a jobs and poverty campaign since 1999 after a realization that unemployment was still the principal problem number one of the country. And we have sought to force the country as a whole to focus on that. We have been successful.
Is it working?
I think it is working. I think that it is...
it doesn't seem that it changes necessarily the need for mass action and the attempted forcing of people to recognize this, because it seems to happen annually and you're still demanding the same things.
Absolutely.
That doesn't necessarily imply change.
Look, but there's one thing that I think we have been successful on, and that is to get a national consensus in the country, a consensus that says unemployment, poverty, inequalities are not good for our democracy, and that consensus exists amongst us as trade unionists, with government, and as well as with the private sector in the country. That's important, because once there's a recognition of the fact that we need to do more to address those challenges, so will be a willingness to then do something about it. And I think that maybe it is in that something that all of us agree ought to be done, where we still have some contradictions.